What is going on, guys? Today we've got some three pieces of news. If you invested in crypto, Bitcoin, this is a news you ought to hear. We've got two bad news coming from China and one good news, guys. We're gonna get to it right now. Let's begin.
The latest news, you guys, overnight coming from China, arresting more than 1,100 people in a sweeping crackdown on the use of cryptocurrencies for money laundering, and of course, further sort of heating the conversations we've had this week that indeed crypto can be traced.
Guys, unfortunately, China has arrested about 1,000 people just for trading on exchanges, crypto exchanges. They are calling those charges as money laundering. This is not good for Bitcoin. They are trying to deter people from engaging from cryptocurrency. Now, this is big because cryptocurrency without exchanges, people won't be able to get their money. They're just trying to deter people from trading in crypto. They know that if they arrested a huge number of people, a lot of people won't even bother trying to open up an account on a crypto exchange. Why? Not only are they trying to deter people from trading in crypto, two, people won't be able to cash out. If they cannot open an account on a crypto exchange, how are they able to cash out their money? Because remember, just having crypto is just money on a computer. It doesn't translate to real physical money. And that's where the problem lies. People won't be able to go in crypto and back to their native currency. So that is not good for crypto in general. But the good news, the price of Bitcoin has not really being affected by the news. Matter of fact, Bitcoin today is trading at $36,000. So even though Bitcoin itself is under pressure, we are still waiting for the death cross to happen, which is a bearish signal. So we're still looking out for that. But as far as the news goes, it hasn't really affected the price of Bitcoin. To another piece of news, again coming out of China.
Searches for crypto exchanges on China's internet are currently being censored. So any words related to, say, Binance or Huobi still bear no results on these search engines like Baidu and Zhiho and Weibo. Weibo also suspending crypto-related accounts.
They are now blocking searches. If you're on a search engine like Google, they call it something else in China. But regardless, if you're on a search engine and you're trying to search for anything to do with crypto exchange, they will block you. You won't be able to do that. For example, if you're trying to search for Binance, they are blocking those. So China is not really crypto friendly right now, but we have gone through these phases before. China cracks down on crypto exchanges, miners, and then they open up. Just remember that majority of crypto miners are located in China. So China is a big beneficiary for crypto in general, even though the government doesn't really agree with that. Now, for the first piece of news where they are cracking down on anybody trading on exchanges, they're saying that they are money laundering, which is just bogus charges, just a way to deter people from trading in crypto. So let's get to the last piece of bad news coming out here in the United States. A Senator, Elizabeth Warren, had a discussion which is circulating on the internet. You probably have seen it. If not, I will summarize it for you. I'm also going to play a piece of it. There's a video circulating on the internet about a senator and a professor having a debate on Bitcoin, where a senator was proposing that Bitcoin is really bad for the earth. It doesn't do you any good. I just want you to show you that video. We're going to play that video momentarily, but I want you to know the sentiment of the lawmakers, what they're thinking about Bitcoin. Basically, the video was, she was making an argument, Elizabeth Warren. She was saying Bitcoin is bad for the earth. It consumes so much energy, equivalent to 58 days of one household. Just one transaction translates to 58 days of one household. The amount of energy that a house uses in 58 days is what translates to one transaction of Bitcoin. I don't know if that's true, but I want you to be aware about the sentiment of the lawmakers, what they plan to do with our money. I'm heavily invested in Bitcoin. I totally don't agree with what she's saying, but I want to be ready about what lawmakers are thinking. They might just start doing what China is doing. If that happens, I want to be ready and move money accordingly.
Bitcoin consumes more energy than entire countries, and it is projected to consume as much energy as all the data centers in the whole world this year. One Bitcoin transaction, a single purchase, sale, or transfer, uses the same amount of electricity as the typical U.S. household uses in more than a month. So, yeah. So, Dr.
Can you say that again?
Yep. A single Bitcoin transaction, that's one purchase or one sale or one transfer, uses the same amount of electricity as the typical U.S. household uses in more than a month. I think the estimate is 53 days. Wow.
So guys, enough of the bad news, guys. Already Bitcoin is in a bad shape, death cross happening. But guys, just looking at the death cross, that's not everything for Bitcoin. We saw how Bitcoin went from 10,000 to 60,000 just in a matter of months, like within 2 months. So yes, a death cross is imminent, is about to happen, which is a bearish signal, but things can change, guys. 30% moves in crypto is not something unusual, so we might see a huge swing, consecutive moves to the upside, and that will change the whole thing. Now guys, just remember that the death cross happens when the 200 moving average and the price cross over, where the price is below the 200 moving average. Why is that important? Well, it's because 200 moving average has got so many data points, 200 days of data points collected. So it's a very important indicator. So we're keeping an eye on that. And finally, guys, we are up to the good news, guys. A country in El Salvador has finally legalized Bitcoin as a legal tender. That means you can go in a shop in El Salvador and pay with Bitcoin. A company cannot refuse you, or a shop or retail shop or any type of business cannot refuse you to pay in Bitcoin.
Well, following the Salvadorian news, a number of politicians in Latin America, many of them younger on the millennial side, signaled their affinity for Bitcoin as well, and made noises about potentially introducing similar ideas. We'll see if any of that actually transpires. We know that Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, stablecoins have very high penetration in places like Colombia and Argentina. Latin America is certainly no stranger to sovereign defaults or periods of high inflation or monetary repression. So we see high penetration there. There's certainly a class of policymakers that see an opportunity to gain favor by signaling their affinity. We'll see what happens. But this is El Salvador is the first non-pariah state to really legitimize and legalize Bitcoin usage in sort of its intended way.
This is major. This is major news. Countries all around the world, if they see El Salvador success, they're going to start using Bitcoin. Maybe they'll start using Bitcoin as a secondary currency. We're going to start seeing countries having maybe two currencies, a native currency and Bitcoin also as a backup. Or think of it like maybe a country is going into a downturn and Bitcoin is doing very, very well. Some merchants will start preferring that you pay them in Bitcoin, right? It's just going to make sense for them. But Bitcoin goes into cycles where there's a boom cycle and a bear cycle, and there'll be times where people won't take Bitcoin. It'll be more expensive to pay in Bitcoin, right? Because who wants to pay for a loaf of bread using Bitcoin? So in that case, they'll use their native currency. So if they are buying equipment, very expensive equipment, they'll use Bitcoin. And if they're just maybe using local transaction, small minuscule transaction, they'll use their local currency. And that'll make sense. Because international trade involves a lot of money, and they might start using Bitcoin for that. All I'm saying is there's another use case for Bitcoin as use case continues to evolve. Who knows what Bitcoin will turn out to be in a few years to come. My prediction is going to be something really bigger than it is right now. So that is great news, guys. El Salvador, the first country to legalize Bitcoin transaction. It went through parliament and it passed, guys. This is major great news. By the way, guys, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. It's a way of supporting the channel. But more importantly, guys, give this channel a like It's just a way of supporting this channel. Cheers, guys.